Joy Anderson, and this is The Observer and the Oracle. Welcome. Welcome to the Underworld. Uh, Pluto New Moon. Exciting. Basically, the subconscious has risen up to our reality. And so, if you're wondering what's going on, why the world is so crazy, that is what is happening, and I am your guide to navigate through it. Well, one of them. There will be many. So, let's talk about it. With Pluto and the subconscious coming up to the surface, what this means is that we are facing our internal fears, which this is happening on a personal level. This is happening on obviously a public level, which we're seeing play out through politics. Know that politics is a separate energy from personal energy. So if you are on platforms and you are fighting with people and really voicing your point of view on politics and what you think is going to happen, I'm just going to tell you that reality is an illusion, and good luck with that, because in Pluto times there are many things that are going to come up to the surface and be revealed. Basically, the reality that you thought you were living in, you are no longer living in. So it's better to look forward and focus on the now, because whatever happened in the past is either going to come up or that door will be shut. So, I mean, if you do enjoy trolling all day, that I guess that's your hobby. But not to knock your hobby, but I just want to say, if this is not a time of intellection, it is a time of intuition. And would you try to rationalize in your head of what you think? No, no, no. Spirit has a different plan, and you need to you need to move from here. You need to move from your soul and approach life from your soul. Okay? Because I'm seeing, sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable. My inferior vena cava is cut off, so my leg's going numb. So, back to what I was saying. Okay. Understand that in this time, you have to know yourself. Know yourself. Know yourself well. Feel your body and what is going on in your body and what your body is telling you. Because we are in a time where what's shifting on the surface, it is unstable. It is not on foundation, because foundation exists inside all of us. And if we are not living through our foundation, like my foundation is, I absolutely love people. I love to help people. And I love to help them transform their fears and give solutions where they have problems. And that's if you ask. I try not to do unsolicited, even though it's really hard for me. Virgo South Node. But that's part of it. And so, like, know that if you are approaching someone with whatever you have to say, know that it's coming from your core. So, like, if you're best friends and you're fighting over politics, know that that is not on your core. That is not your core. Okay? Because spirit does not know politics. Okay? That is not in your core self. So if you're really gonna end like a friendship that you've had for 15 years, or you're gonna like try to entice them to like come out and like voice their opinions because they haven't said anything because you're so radical with your opinions, know that that is not your core self. I love you, but that's not your core self. And if no one else is going to tell you, I'll tell you, because there are times where I feel that I should interject in people's paths. Unfortunately, I don't know why. It's just I just like to. I'm like, hi, do you see this? And then some people are like, yeah. Some people are like, no. Like the other day, I wrote a Facebook post and it was like, I want you guys to look at the similarities in this. And what I got was a lot of people pointing out the differences. I am not saying the differences are not valid. I understand that they are there. I see them. Everyone's talking about them. That does not interest me. What interests me are what are the similarities. And with those similarities, what does that do to your mind? And here's the thing. When we experience mass narcissism, because this is what this is, so it's okay to not feel safe in your reality and to not know what's going on. Let things that you experience throughout the day be like a grain of rice and just filter through you and out of you. Because this is not a time to hold on to anything. Because the reality is shifting so quickly. Now, you may think, okay, Amanda, that's a bunch of like new age mumbo jumbo. You can call it whatever you want. I don't call it that. I call this what I have experienced in the dream world and in the present world in my life, and trying to transform my own fears of my subconscious, my own subconscious fears, transforming them and taking action in my life. Because if I don't transform them, what happens is I relive them over and over and over and over again. And guess what? I'm not doing that this time. I'm not falling for that trick, Pluto. It's not happening. And if it does, I'll have another chance. But just know that at this point in time, make sure you move from your soul. Make sure you speak from your soul. If you were speaking about politics and what you know about politics, that is not speaking from your soul. Okay? I had to say it. I'm sorry. But I had to. Because right now, what we have a bunch of people pointing out differences. Well, this is that. That's different. That's different. Well, guess what? if any administration is trying to create unity in the whole, it's about finding similarities. It's about compromising. It is but not like compromising yourself, but like coming to a space and in that space you say, you know what, you okay, I agree with this, and then that person's like, okay, I agree with this too, and then you're like, awesome, we agree, that's super cool. And that is kind of like the energy I would, I mean, you guys could do whatever. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but that is how I would approach this time. However, if you are experiencing someone that is pushing against your boundaries, and this is anywhere in the realms of like harassment or stalking and all of that, my friends, that is a life lesson, and that is for you to face. That is a fear, and it is your job to go in to your inner child and figure out why that's there. Why haven't you faced that? Why are you allowing that in your life? Because this is Pluto, okay? Pluto is bringing up the underworld. What that means is that a lot of times, like with Pluto bringing up the underworld, you don't know what your reality is because it hasn't take shape yet. And sometimes truth comes out and you don't really understand exactly where you are. I know this because this is my life. This is my life experience. And so you go through these transitions. Okay, so like, it's my best way of explaining this. Okay, say you're in a relationship, and then in that relationship, you learn that someone is living a secret life, a life that you don't know about. There's a lot of things hidden. And then what happens is somehow you just stumble upon information. I will call this spirit because spirit likes to work in that way. Also, it's called the tower in tarot. And not only is it a bitch, it doesn't mean that you'll like it. It doesn't mean that it's fun. But what it means is that it's truth. And when you experience truth, you are always ready for the truth, whether or not you would like to accept it or not. It's very much an invitation. And that invitation is either going to expand your reality or collapse your reality. So take it as it is, because that's what it is. So now you know these things. But then what happens is, as Pluto goes along, is that you have another jump of information. And as that information comes out, you are now more aware, and you may also not like that reality, but you are now aware of that it exists. So and what that is, my friends, is manipulation. And it is also called brainwashing. And unfortunately, it happens. It happens to people everywhere. There are so many people today living with narcissistic abuse, and they experience this all the time. And until they can leave those relationships, they still experience it. Until they are able to face their fears, which with Pluto, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about manipulation. We are talking about control. We are talking about fears and facing fears and finding the strength and the will within yourself to be able to move past those fears. Now, how do you do that? Well, it takes practice. And if you have not been practicing, that's okay. You can just pick up where you left off. Or if you haven't started, well, there's no time like the present. So, what does this mean? What does this all mean? Pluto is the planet of the unseen. So, anything that has been brewing underneath the surface is now coming up to give you a new beginning. And that new beginning is going to lead you towards another space. Is it better than the one that you're in? Always. But what that is, I can't tell you. No one can tell you. Only Pluto can tell you. And that's the Pluto that exists within yourself, which is the subconscious realm. And so when I'm experiencing this is what I do. I'm going to tell you guys what I do. So, whenever I've experienced anything, like any kind of just difficult situation in my life, I come back to self. I always come back to self because it's so easy to point fingers at people that you place all this blame on other people. And I mean, you can do that, but is it constructive? Does it really help you? Does it dissolve your anger? Come back to self, okay? Because all your answers lay within. I know that like there's 150,000 books that say that, but it's true. And if you're like, I don't know what that means, Amanda, like I hear it and it's like, it just doesn't make sense to me. That's okay. Because it happens. And it happens through practice. It happens through centering yourself and becoming aware of your emotions and the feelings and the pain that you feel inside. And allowing yourself to bring that up and feel it. I've been processing pain, let's see, I would say effectively, probably about 7 years now. The emotion of the pain, we're looking at like 12 years now. So, as I say this, understand that it is a process. It is not something you fix overnight. It is not anything that you can force because of the control aspect, but it is something that you just allow yourself to receive. You allow yourself to feel without judgment, and you just allow yourself to experience it. And that may sound super woo-woo if you're like a super rational person, but that's all I got for you. Because like I'm super rational. I like to see all the evidence. I like to know everything about everything. I mean, really, I could tell you each attachment, each origin and attachment of every single muscle and what they do and how they move. Like really, like I I don't have all these licenses and certificates for nothing, okay? I love learning. I love learning about everything. And like if it interests me, I will learn it. And that's the truth. I will always be a student. But I want to teach this because I understand that people are confused to what they're experiencing in their reality. And I'm just going to tell you like, you have to bring it back to self. Like, if you are focused on other people and what's going on in the news, or what's going on over here in this media outlet, or what's going on and over there in that media outlet, and, you know, um, not only that, like, I mean, I can understand why it's interesting times when things are, people are being regulated and, like, freedom of speech is something. Something to stand for, maybe, but there are others that oppose that, which is fine. I'm not going to tell you what to think. What I am going to tell you is that if you want to find the truth, go within. And you're going to learn the truth. You may like it, you may not like it. And if you don't like it, you can always change it. And that's the truth. All right. I love you guys. I hope this was somewhat informational. I was hoping. I'm super airy today, so I don't know where this is gonna land, but I'm going to allow it to just be. All right. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Don't worry. You got this. Find the similarities. Look for, at each other. Look for connection. Look for love. Look for everything that makes the soul whole. Anything that is not that is also not you, and you are also out of alignment. All right. Love you. Bye.